Hello and welcome to today's video. Now today we're going to talk about what I think is one of the most important subjects in the AI space at the moment, and that is AI detectors. Now AI detection is nothing more than a grift. It is a grift by people who want to receive more attention in the media. It is a grift by people who want to get more people using their services, and it is a grift by people who want to make more money from services that do not work. And that's the most important thing, because what's worse than AI that can't be detected? AI detection software that doesn't work. Now, I am in favour of AI detection. I think AI detection is really important as we move forward and as AI moves into areas where there can be real dangers if AI is used in a way that cannot be detected. And I'm talking about political uses by dangerous groups out there, uses for propaganda, because you look at how AI can already influence the public. Look at YouTube, look at TikTok, look at Facebook. The algorithms that they use are there to find out exactly what it is we want to watch and to give us more of it. If that is used to generate the actual content as well, that can be incredibly dangerous in the wrong hands, because it can direct people to keep watching and keep consuming and keep doing things that could be harmful to them. I'm talking about the education system, where you're looking at people who are using AI to pass exams in areas where that could cause us massive amounts of danger. Consider if a doctor passes an exam using ChatGPT, and then in 2 or 3 years' time they're carrying out operations on real people that could cause them harm. And then we take a look at the medical area itself as well. If AI is used to promote products to people, to promote cures to people that don't work, that could cause them harm, that could do worse than not work, that could actually cause the person to become more unhealthy, more ill. These are all areas where AI detection in the text generation space is really important. Again, when we then look at the possible uses for text to video, that hasn't really come about yet but could in the future, and it's already there with text to image. We take a look at that image of the Pope in a puffer jacket, no danger there, but people see that and they think it's real. Moving forward in the future, how could that be used to disgrace people in public, to create panic about things that aren't actually happening? AI detection in these areas is incredibly important. My problem is that AI detection at the moment is used for nothing more than to enrich a small group of people by releasing technology and using it to frighten people into paying for it and into using it. And that is what we're going to talk about today. So before we get straight into the video, as always, if you like what I talk about, if you like AI, if you like AI marketing, AI SEO, AI news, AI views, then this channel is for you. There'll be a lot more videos coming out in the next few weeks, so drop a subscribe down there. And if you like this video or you're interested in what we're talking about, drop a like on the video, share it with somebody who might want to watch it as well. And if you have your views on it, I want to hear them. Drop a comment down below. I want to read what you think about AI detection. Is it dangerous? Is it good? Do you use it or do you ignore it? So with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. So the main AI detection tool that I'm going to talk about today is Originality.AI. That is the tool that I believe everyone out there knows about, and everyone who uses AI detection is more than likely, if they're paying for it, going to be using this tool. Now, to be completely transparent and open, I have used Originality.AI before, and I have promoted Originality.AI before. If you go to my website, you can see an article right on there that talks about AI detection, and it promotes Originality.AI as a great tool to use to check if your website's content is or isn't being detected as AI written. Now, at that time, the reason why I believed that was because Google had not given their position on AI content. At that time, nobody knew whether or not AI content would be ranked on Google or whether it would be seen as a detrimental factor in a blog post or in a website itself ranking on the first page of Google. Now, for people like me who have websites that rely on search engine traffic or write for other websites who rely on search engine traffic, the last thing we want to do is write content using AI if that is going to affect our website's rankings. Now, Google came out and they made it very, very clear that They were not going to penalise websites for the method of creation. They were only going to penalise websites who written content to manipulate the search engines, or who written content that did not fall in line with their EEAT guidelines. That's experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So those are the 4 things that Google look for if they're going to rank your website. Now, none of those things state that if the content is written by AI, they're going to penalise it as not being in line with those factors. And there are many reasons for that, but the ones that I find most compelling are that not everyone can write English to a great level. Not everyone is a brilliant writer. There are many people out there who are very good at coming up with ideas and who have the experience, who have the expertise, who have the authority, and who have the trust, but for one reason or another struggle to write on their website in a way that people will want to read. And for that reason, AI can be used for that, to help those people, whether that's because they struggle to get their ideas into words, if that's because they don't speak English as a first language, because let's remember, English is the first language of the internet, so most website copy or website text is going to be written for an English audience. Whatever the reason is, AI is a good way to be able to help get around that. But the main reason is that AI text is incredibly difficult to detect. It is almost, according to a study recently, impossible to detect. One thing that's important to remember about artificial intelligence is that there is a massive part of AI that we don't understand, that we don't know what it's doing. We know the overall high level, right, okay, it's looking at the connections between these representations of words and it's working out what would be the best one to come next based on all the context surrounding it. We know that, but what we don't know is how it comes to those decisions, because there's a huge part of the neural network where we don't really know what it's doing. There's a massive amount of randomness that goes in there that allows it to be able to make decisions that are different every single time while still falling in line with the overall context and being coherent alongside the text that's on the page already. So for that reason, I think it is extremely dangerous for Originality.AI to go out there and promote their product in the way that they're doing. You take a look at their email that came into my inbox on April the 10th, AI detection breakthrough, accurate on GPT-4. And if you take a look at what's in that email, it states that it's 99% accurate on GPT-4 and 83% accurate on ChatGPT, that's GPT-4 powered. Now, if we're looking at that in itself, how could it be more accurate on GPT-4, which can be set by anyone with a system prompt, can be tweaked to have a higher amount of creativity, tweaked to have a different amount of top P, tweaked to have a different level of repetition penalty, and tweaked to have a different level of presence penalty? How can it be more accurate on that than it can be on ChatGPT, which has those settings put in place directly by OpenAI, and it can't be tweaked to change it to give different kinds of content? If you put your creativity right up to the top, it won't give you very coherent text, but believe me, it's not going to be easy for any AI detector to pick up on the patterns, because the patterns will be more complex. And it's really important to look at what they're putting in here and see who they're marketing it to. Because if this was being marketed as a way of being able to detect possible AI lies that are out there, being able to detect AI medical content that's out there that could be harmful to you and the people that you love, but that isn't what they're doing. What they're doing here is they're marketing to people who might be scared because they are freelancers that are using AI. They might be scared that their clients are going to look at the content and are going to say, that's AI written, I don't want that, write me something new. They're marketing it at the clients themselves, who are scared that their freelancers aren't actually going to be really good writers. They're just going to be running everything through ChatGPT. They are marketed to website owners who are scared that their website is going to be knocked down by the search engines because they're using AI content, even though Google have said that they're not going to penalise the method of creation, because this marketing is entirely aimed at trying to scare people into buying their product. You take a look at an email sent on April the 6th, just beforehand. Can Google detect AI-generated content and penalise it? And it states here that they believe that there's a link between Originality.AI's human content being ranked higher than AI content. Now, when you take a look at the actual study, what they've found is they've examined the top 20 web pages for 1,000 popular keywords. And what they haven't done here is what I did when I did a very similar experiment on much less amounts of data. And I found a very similar link to what Originality found. However, they haven't noted the limitations of that. One of the biggest limitations of any study like that now is that there are over 2 decades worth of non-AI generated content on the internet. There are massive amounts of content that have been written over the years before AI was really able to write content. So if you go back to 2020, you couldn't write a full blog post with AI, but that was the biggest leap forward from GPT-2 to GPT-3, where suddenly it was realistic to be able to co-write an article with AI. And it was only really towards the end of last year when AI started to ramp up to be able to do full articles without much input from the human. So if you're going to have a maximum of maybe 2, maybe 3 years of AI generated content, and you're going to compare that to the decades worth of human content that's out there on the internet, it is no surprise that the highest ranked articles are going to be the ones that were created 5 or 6 years ago. And why is that? Because they've had time to build up the authority of their website. They've had time to build up the backlinks on their website. They've had time to build up topical authority around the subject to prove their experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. These are all things that can't be done in a very short space of time. And let's be really clear on that as well. Websites don't get on the first page of Google for one thing alone. You can't just write a load of content or just get a load of backlinks or just get a load of hits and suddenly be on the first page of Google. You have to do everything. There is a lot of work that goes into it. So somebody who's just got a website in the last year and has put a load of AI content on there, they're probably not going to get to the first page of Google. And that's why when I put my experiment out there, what I was very careful to say was that yes, there are the majority of sites on the first page for popular keywords that have clearly human detected content. But there are some articles on there that don't have human detected content. That doesn't mean that they were written by AIs. What that means is that the AI detection is very clearly not making a difference. If you can get onto the first page, and in mine it was the top 3, if you get onto the top 3 of Google by having AI detected content, then all things being equal, AI is not being used as a factor to knock your website down. And that is what Originality's study also finds, because they've used some of the most popular keywords and there are AI detected articles on that first page in those top 20 results. And they don't frame it that way. And the reason they don't frame it that way is the reason for the title of this video. The reason why I'm saying that AI detection is a grift is that this is clearly using the loss aversion bias in their marketing. This marketing is aimed at website owners who are either considering using AI tools to write their content, who are hiring freelancers who they are scared will use AI tools in their content writing, or they are freelancers who are scared that their clients are going to stop using them because they are using AI content. And that to me is incredibly sneaky and incredibly unethical, because there is no evidence out there. Their study does not prove or disprove whether or not Google are penalizing websites for using AI content. But that's how they've titled it, because they've got the profit motive. What do they want to do? They want me, they want you, they want everyone who is considering using AI tools to sign up, to pay, to get the credits and then use these credits every time we write any piece of content. Because what happens the first time we write the content over? it comes back 60% human written. On their study, it says that you need to get to 75% or you're not going to get high up on that first page. So what do? You rewrite it, you put it back through. It says 70%. You rewrite it again, you put it back through. It says 77%. Now you're happy. Then you send it over to your client. Your client runs it through. It says 77%. They haven't read that study. All they know and all they care about is, I don't want any AI in my writing. They send it back to you and say, rewrite this. You've got 23% AI written. I want 100% human written, or I'm not paying you. And that is incredibly sneaky, because then you're going to have possibly 5, 6, 7 runs through by the freelancer, plus an extra 2, possibly 3 runs through by the client, which means they're using a whole load of credits just for one article, which means that loads of money is going into the pockets of Originality.AI. And that to me is incredibly dangerous before you come to the false positives. And this to me is one area where I could not help but get really wound up. People are pointing out that the Bible and the Declaration of Independence are being marked as AI written, and that does make sense for a few reasons. You know, it's more looking to find the content that's written on websites, which the Bible and the Declaration of Independence aren't written in that style. But even if we are incredibly generous and we state that Originality.AI are accurate when they state that they only have a 2.5% false positive rate, that is still, if we put through every single article written every single day, that is still thousands upon thousands of articles that would be detected falsely as being AI written. And I don't think that it is in any way ethical to be putting out this marketing which states that it is accurate at detecting AI written articles when it's clearly not the case, especially when they're focusing on the fear aspect of this and playing on the loss aversion bias by stating that this is something you need, otherwise your freelancer might be ripping you off. They've even released a plugin which allows people to spy on their freelancer and see if they're actually writing the article or copying it over from ChatGPT, which is absolutely crazy, especially when it doesn't work. It doesn't do what they say it's going to do. So as we come to the close of the video, it's important to look at the overall state of AI detection, because it is vitally important that we do have a way of being able to detect AI media. As we move forward, there will be situations where we read something, where we hear something, or where we see something, and we don't know whether that's being created by a human or whether it is being generated or even fabricated by a AI model. And that's important that we know how to detect this and how we can see whether it's real or whether it isn't real. And an AI watermark is one way of being able to do that, and I think something that should be considered, because if you take a look at the audio generation that's out there, there are AI audio generators who are adding AI watermarks, but they're only doing it on the free version of it. And I think it's important to add these watermarks across a lot of the tools that could be used for harm, simply because it's a way of being able to stop the harmful elements. For example, the people who are already using voice cloning technology to be able to imitate people to scam their friends and family, and that needs to be wiped out very quickly. And it's more than likely people using the chargeable versions of these applications to be able to go out and scam people out of money. And that is a clear area where AI detection is vital to be able to protect people. Now, when it comes to the tech side of things, I know a lot of people would be reluctant for an AI watermark to be added, and I understand why. But if you were to have a AI detector free of charge that can pick up on the watermark, then you cut off the harmful aspect of AI detection at the moment, and the harmful aspect is the marketing around it. It is the people who are going out there and doing this to harm people, to scare website owners, to make it harder for freelancers to be able to ramp up their work and make more money, to scare business owners, to make them believe that people are out to scam them out of money by delivering work using AI generators. And you only have to look at their release of a tool that allows you to spy on your freelancer to see if they're actually writing things out or if they're just copying it over from ChatGPT, which is eroding the trust between a freelancer and their client, and that trust is vital. And believe me, the majority of the work that goes into producing any article or any script or any written piece of media, most of the work takes place before you even write a word. Most people that are writing content for websites spend a lot of their time outlining it, coming up with an original angle, and doing research into it to make their article unique, to make their article have a unique take that somebody else wouldn't be having, and that would make theirs stand out across every other article across the internet. Because everyone knows, even if you get to page one of the search engines, if you don't have a hook, if you don't have an original take, if you don't have an original angle, if you don't have original information that somewhere else doesn't have, nobody's spending time on your website. And if you are just using AI content to pump out loads of different articles, it doesn't matter whether it's detected as AI written or not AI written. If it's unique, people will be interested in it. If it isn't unique, people will skip on to the next one. They will go to the website, click back off, and click the next search result down. So, do I hate AI detection? No, I think it's vital. I think it's useful. Do I like AI detection? Not in the form it's currently being delivered. I think it's vital that we find a way of being able to reliably detect AI content, whether it's written, audio, video, image, or whatever it is, however it's being produced. And I think that we need to make strides towards that. But the AI detectors that are out there at the moment are nothing more than a marketing machine. That's all they are. So for me, the most important thing we can do at the moment with AI detectors is to ignore them, is to push them to one side and focus our attention on delivering useful, helpful, written content that is accurate every single time, regardless of whether you write them manually or whether you are using some form of AI to help you do it. Remember, the actual method of creation doesn't matter. It won't affect you whatsoever. The only people who will benefit if you start to use AI detectors, and I'm talking to people who own websites and maybe hire freelancers or own websites to write for themselves, or who are freelancers that are looking to speed up their content writing process, it doesn't matter how you create that content. It really doesn't. What matters is that the final product is useful, has some original information, is accurate, and actually provides value to the reader of the article. And even if Originality.AI gives you 100% human written, it does not know whether or not you've wrote something that is valuable or whether you've wrote something that is just a piece of spam, whether it is AI written or whether it is human written. So I would say right now, chuck AI detection in the bin. You don't need to worry about it. Someone needs to be out there finding a way to reliably detect AI content, whichever form of content it is. But right now, we don't have that. All we have is a marketing machine that's out there trying to play on your fears and what you might lose if you are detected as being an AI content writing user. So I'd say right now, forget all about any form of AI detection until we have something that's reliable and that can actually be made available for people to use to detect it when it's most important. So that is it. That is the video. Now, do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? Either way, I really want to hear what you have to say. Please drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. This is one of the most important subjects when it comes to AI content at the moment because everyone's got a different view and I'd like to hear yours. Also, if you like AI, if you like SEO, if you like marketing, then please subscribe to the channel because there's going to be loads of videos over the future weeks that will help you get the most out of AI, SEO and marketing for your business and your life. And finally, if you like this video, please drop a like down below. It helps with the algorithm. And if there's somebody that you think needs to watch this video, please share it with them. Thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you next time.